Hey, it's Rasul Berry, and I'm here at City Hall in Cape Town, South Africa, home of the newly minted Nelson Mandela statue, reflecting on what Mandela's legacy can teach us about the nature of a rescuer. The essence of a rescuer is someone who's willing to put themselves on the line for the sake of others. We think of firefighters or lifeguards or other first responders who put themselves at risk for the sake of other people's lives. Nelson Mandela is routinely and universally recognized as a rescuer of the nation of South Africa. When it was being torn apart by apartheid, a racist system that oppressed the majority of the people in its nation, Mandela rose up and used his skills and ability as a lawyer and an organizer to make change. But in 1963, he found himself arrested and in the trial of his life, where the possible outcome was the death penalty. In that trial, he stood up and gave this speech. He said, "During my lifetime, I have fought against white domination and I have fought against black domination." He said, "I cherish the ideals of a democratic and free society. It is ideals that I am willing to live for and hopefully achieve, but if need be, an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Well, Mandela ended up being sentenced to life in prison, but his words remind me of what Jesus told his disciples in Matthew 20, verse 28. He said that the great among you should be the servant to all, for the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. Jesus taught true greatness was meant in us being rescuers and willingly putting ourselves in harm's way for others. But it's not a message that he just taught, but it was one that he lived out by willingly giving his life as a ransom for others. Mandela served 27 years in prison, and as the apartheid regime was coming to a close, he was freed. All of a sudden, the former prisoner was now the president, and the world watched to see what would happen. Would he exact revenge and retribution on those who had taken so much of his life? Instead, he cast a vision for a rainbow nation, a place where there could truly be equal opportunity and harmony among everyone who lived there. Because of that, we now have the modern day South Africa, a place where there is a sense of growth and restoration. We're called as followers of Christ to also be rescuers. And the challenge is, will we, like Mandela, be willing to live for these ideals? And like Christ, be willing to die for them? If so, then we will fulfill our rescue mission.